We've woken up a little bit late, but welcome to the beautiful city of Chihuahua. Although it's a bit of a quieter city, I'm fairly confident that there's lots to see and lots to explore. We're only going to be here for about one day, so today is our only day to explore this beautiful city. I am going to share this entire city with you guys in this video. Let's do Chihuahua in 24 hours. First up today, we've actually come to the main central part of Chihuahua. This will be our launching point for a lot of the attractions here in Chihuahua because it serves right in the center of the city, and a lot of the major churches and attractions we're going to see today are just around this area. This is the Plaza Grande de Chihuahua. The square itself is pretty calm and quiet, as you can probably see around me. There's literally nobody in the entire square right now, but you've got some sculptures, you've got some sculptures of Indians, you've got some sculptures of the colonizers, sculptures of the revolution. So there's a lot of history that they've put on the murals here. You've got a big sign for Chihuahua. It's a very colorful sign, and in the distance you can see a lot of the buildings and the statues. But this will be our launching point for our understanding of the city of Chihuahua. So let's start exploring more of the city. Well, right across the street from the plaza is one of the main attractions here in Chihuahua. This is the Palace for the Government. This palace is located right in the center of Chihuahua, and it is stunning. Like, it is basically an art gallery with tons and tons and tons of murals depicting a lot about Mexican history and a lot of scenes from Mexican history, starting from the very beginning when the Indians were around being colonized by the Spanish to the whole revolutionary period. And what's really important about the palace here and the historical significance of this site is that it was where Hidalgo, one of the most important Mexican revolutionary leaders, was apparently killed here. And they have a sort of memorial to him. There's a candle that's there, and there's a statue, and there's a big sign that talks about the history of it and how he was murdered here. But they basically created a little memorial within the palace itself to remember that. But the place is really, really serene, really quiet, and the artwork, the murals are just absolutely incredible. It's built in that same sort of Spanish style government palace structure like we saw in Monterrey, with this square courtyard when you enter in. But what I love about this one is that it's just completely decorated with these murals that have a meaning. They talk about the history of the place. They're educational murals that talk about what happened to Mexico's history. And it's just absolutely stunning. So if you get a chance to come here, you have to come to the palace because the artwork is truly magnificent. just made it inside the Casa de Chihuahua. This is a museum, but it's more than just a museum. It's a really historical building, and this is where the prison where Miguel Hidalgo was held before he was murdered, right across the street, which we just saw. So this is where he was held before he was getting murdered. Now, usually it looks like there is a price to get in, about 50 pesos. I saw the sign, but I walked in and they didn't charge me anything. So I'm not sure whether I'm just really special or they got rid of the fee, but let's go ahead and check out the museum. So the museum itself can roughly be divided into two parts, which is the first part with all the exhibitions, the artwork and everything. It's okay, but what I'm really interested in is the prison where Hidalgo was held, so that's where we're gonna go now. It's downstairs. The main event right here. This is the last prison cell of Miguel Hidalgo. I would say that was a pretty cool place. I mean, the desk and the bed and everything, that's not original, but you can see the walls, you can see the rocks, and they've sort of left it as it were when Miguel Hidalgo was being held in prison there. Obviously it's just a recreation, but it's cool to see the history here and what actually happened. They also talk about the history of the building, how it went from, you know, a church to the mint to a federal government office. So it's been through a lot of history. But this is, I would say, a pretty interesting place to get to understand a little bit more about Mexican history and the history of Chihuahua. Well, just after the big plaza area and through the two buildings we saw earlier is Calle Libertad. This is a huge shopping area. I mean, you've got stores that are selling anything. Clothes, technology, shoes, food, anything you can imagine, they're basically selling it on the street. It's actually really cool because they have these breeze things that are blowing fresh water on you. Chihuahua is, oh, and that is the example of that fresh water, because Chihuahua is a really hot city, especially during the day. So this is designed to help cool down the public who are walking along the street, doing their shopping, and my lens is all wet, but this is one of the main shopping streets here in Chihuahua if you're looking to buy something cool. The bad things about COVID here in Mexico is that they've sort of just shut down a lot of the big public areas. And one of the biggest and most beautiful ones is this plaza right behind me. This is Plaza de Armas. But as you can see, there's like yellow tape that completely blocks the entire park off, so you're not allowed to enter. But right in front of it is the municipal cathedral. It's really famous. It's the Cathedral of Chihuahua. The thing is, they're currently doing their Sunday prayer. They're having service, so I don't think it's a good idea to go in right now. Well guys, just right behind the church there is an amazing sort of car garage, and we're currently on the rooftop of it. This is how you properly see Chihuahua. Wow, just an absolutely incredible spot. It was worth waiting those 2 hours for the rain to stop because the shots of the church are just absolutely amazing. Now we're gonna see if we can get into the church. It's time to see whether the mass is over, the Sunday mass, so that we can go in and see what's inside. Well, I couldn't have come at a better time. The lady said that the next mass would start in 5 minutes. It's a really nice church. It's not really big, it's not really massive, but the decorations are nice. You can tell it's really old. I do prefer the view from the outside a little bit more, but it's still a really nice church to go in and just take a look at. Of course, entrance is going to be free at these churches, and so is the Viewpoint at the garage that we were at earlier. But for me, I do prefer the view from the outside, but it's still a really cool church to check out, and it's one of the main symbols of Chihuahua when you're here. Now that it's rained and the whole street is just wet, it not only has it gotten really muddy, but it's actually gotten a little bit chilly. I'm feeling a little bit cold around here, but we're just walking on to our next stop here in Chihuahua. Let's go ahead. Well, we've started our hike up to the final stop of the day. It's a pretty steep incline, but as you can see behind me, the view of the city of Chihuahua is already pretty impressive. All right, I'm gonna put the camera away and slowly make my way up. I'll see you guys at the Viewpoint. Well, it seems like our luck today just doesn't seem to get better. It's currently raining and it looks like it's only going to get worse from here. We're gonna head down for the mountain. We're leaving the Viewpoint. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. 24 hours here in Chihuahua. I think I covered most of the places here to visit in Chihuahua. I mean, this place right here is an amazing place for sunset. Unfortunately, the weather today was just not cooperating, but if everything works out, Chihuahua is really a nice place that you can visit maybe just for a day, and I would highly recommend it if you get the chance. Just make sure to check the weather. If you enjoyed today's video, definitely give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more food and travel videos. It's been an amazing day. It's been a pretty good sunset. The drone shots have been amazing, and I'll see you guys on the next food and travel video. Bye guys.